Hey guys, welcome back to another horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. I'm Daniel Richardson. And yes, we got another action-packed, thrilling, delicious episode of the horror movie review. Tonight, the big movie we're going to be reviewing is The Seven Vampires. Let me tell you, woo! Look out. But of course, you guys know what we like to do on the show. We like to go ahead and hit you up with some of the current news in the world of horror. We got some sad news to start off on. We got Yaphet Kotto passed away this past week at 81. For me personally, he's always going to be Aliens, Parker. But it's like, he was also in The Running Man, Live and Let Die. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. So it's just like, he was a great actor, and it's, sad to see him go. I do kind of feel like, we haven't seen him in such a long time. I wonder exactly what happened. Like, was he still working? Was he working more independent and underground? Or, did he just kind of retire? I don't really know. I didn't follow his career too much, except for those, those main ones I mentioned. But, yeah, like I said, it always sucks when, a, fellow member of the horror community, goes, So, thoughts and prayers to the family. And, yeah, there's that. The kind of hard to segue away from that, but we do have another death. This one you probably shouldn't feel too bad about. Ronnie DeFeo Jr., the Ronnie DeFeo who murdered his family in the Amityville house, like in real life, the real guy who did it. Yeah, he passed away. He was 69. Anyway, I'm not sure exactly what the cause of death was. The article I read didn't specify, but yeah, I honestly assumed he was probably already dead. And now I'm thinking, like, where's like the documentary about him? Like fucking Iceman, they did like 3 or 4 documentaries of that dude. Like, did anybody interview Ryan DeFeo? Like, I would love to hear that interview. There's the interview right there. I don't know. So, anyways, but I don't know if they ever did or didn't. But either way, he's dead now. So. Darren Bousman, he directed like a shit ton of the Saws. Like he did like Saw 2 through 4, and then he recently did the newest one, Spiral, which has been pushed back, hasn't come out yet. Anyway, and he did a Repo, Genetic Opera. Like he's very prolific in the genre of horror. But apparently, and I didn't realize this. I want to say maybe I remember reading something like this a little bit ago, a couple years back maybe. But I didn't realize it was an ongoing thing. Apparently, every St. Patrick's Day, this dude will tweet out that, he'll tag Lionsgate in and be like, hey, I want to do the next Leprechaun reboot. And I guess like every year it just keeps going. I don't know if they think it's a joke or what, but I guess it's like the first year they actually got replied back and they're like, we'll see. It's kind of a we'll see kind of thing. Or that sounds interesting. I don't know. They said something kind of cutesy back. But it's like, dude, when someone wants to direct like something as shitty as Leprechaun, like I love Leprechaun movies, but it's like they are ridiculous, and it's like really, like, you got a guy who's willing to do it. Maybe they don't want to put the money into it, but it's like it's got to be better than fucking Origins, right? And it's the fucking guy who did Saw or Saw 2, which honestly is my favorite Saw. So I don't know. I just feel like when someone, I know Darren Bowles is not really like a high profile director, but still, yeah, it's like he's got to be making the money. So I don't know. Maybe if Spiral does good, they'll give him this one. Because I'm like, what's going on with the Leprechaun franchise anyways? It's been dead. It did a recent one with the, oh shit, what was it? Sci-Fi Channel. I forget the name of it. Like Leprechaun Returns or something like that. It didn't have Warwick Davis though. Bring back Warwick. I don't know if Warwick Davis wants to do it or not, but I'm like, bring back Warwick Davis. Get Darren Bousman on there. And have fun. I don't know. Let's go underwater. We haven't done underwater yet. Let's have a shark involved. I don't know. I think it'd be great. Like, I feel like that's the kind of franchise you can't take too seriously to begin with. And I feel like Warwick Davis knew that. Like, that's what made the performances great, because he just knew, have fun. That's what you're here for. Have fun. People take themselves way too fucking seriously. So, I believe her name is Natalie Erica James. She directed Relic recently. Did a great job doing that. Well, her and John Krasinski's going to team up. Krasinski's going to be producing, and she's going to be directing. It's going to be for Studio A24, and the movie's going to be Apartment. I had to look for this one. Apartment 7A is the name of the movie. It's only been described so far as a psychological thriller. There's no details beyond that, but I'm sold. With Krasinski producing, I'm not sure what, how hands-on he'll be, but like he's got horror cred with Quiet Place. And then, of course, with her, she knocked it out of the park with Relic. I thought Relic was incredibly good. So So, anyways, yeah, and it's A24. Like, anytime A24, I believe it's A24. I did not write that down. I want to say it's A24, but maybe it's Paramount because I feel like Krasinski works Paramount almost exclusively. Doesn't matter either way though. So, anyways, but you good to see. And then finally, apparently, Morgan's Creek is going to be brushing off the old Pacific Heights thriller that had Michael Keaton in it, where he was, the tenant, and he was just kind of fucking with his landlords hardcore. And it gets deadly serious. I honestly never seen it. I caught like part of it on TV one time, and I was just like, I'd rather watch it uncensored. I'm not sure how brutal it gets or how much cursing's involved, but it's like I didn't want to watch it on TV, so I just remember thinking like, I'll fucking come back to this. And I just never saw it. But apparently they're making a TV series out of it. And we're doing a gender swap. We're going to make it, I guess, a girl tenant instead. I don't know. It's funny because like, they're remaking a lot of stuff for Morgan Creek right now. Exorcist is getting a reboot. I don't know if they're going to do a gender swap on that or not. But it just seems like, really? We're going to gender swap it? Like, that's just when Hollywood has no ideas. It works so good for Ghostbusters and Ocean's 8, so fuck it. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Pacific Heights coming out. Oh, I mean, it's a TV series. I doubt it will, but it's just like, I just kind of wish that Michael Keaton would make a cameo or something, come back to it. But anyways, so I just want to throw this out there real quick. So back in February, beginning of February, I did an episode where I was reviewing Jurassic Games. I said I liked it. It's a movie that, like I said, has a ridiculously low IMDb rating. It has a ridiculously low Rotten Tomatoes score. And I had fun with it. I thought it was a fun movie. And so anyway, when I reviewed it, I didn't just completely shit on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely gave it a fair review, and I even pointed out, some flaws. But overall, I liked it. I gave it, a thumbs up. And the director reached out to me here on YouTube, Ryan Belgard. And I thought that was really cool. He said, thanks for the kind words. And he's glad I enjoyed it. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. Like, no one really watches our YouTube stuff. Except for, the handful that do. We love you guys. We got a small cult following. But, like, that's it. Like, we don't, no one's reaching out to us and saying thanks. And so, Ryan Belgart gave us a shout out. And I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. So, yes, there you go. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You're doing good. So, I want to check out more of your work now because I like Jurassic Games. I really hope I like his other stuff because that's going to be really embarrassing if I'm just like, I watched the other, 10 movies you did and they all sucked. I'm sure they're good. They got to be better than what we're about to talk about now because we're going to get into the new movie I watched. Not a new movie at all though. It came out in '86. Talking about The Seven Vampires. This is a Brazilian film from the same guy who did The Secret of the Mummy, which I reviewed a while back ago. Check out in the archives. Man, I want to try to give a quick plot rundown. This thing's so ridiculous. So basically, this scientist he's a botanist scientist. I don't know, fuck it. He's professor. It's all right. You always have something to drink here. I have to still her water. Ah, thank you. So, this botanist, he got this carnivorous plant, And anyways, it turns out this is like a vampire plant because when it bites you, guess what? It turns you into a vampire. Because of course it does. And so anyways, there is this nightclub, and all these murders seem to be linked to this one nightclub. So, a goofy private, investigator, PI, and his secretary that he's also boning, they are hired to, crack the case, and that's what they're going to do. Okay, so the first one I saw, Secret of the Mummy, it was so fucking out there and crazy and weird. And I just love the sleaze factor. Like, it had like tons of tits. This has a lot of tits in it too, but it didn't feel sleazy for some reason. It just feels, I don't know, less sleazy, I guess. Anyways, but I don't know. The last movie is so out there, and this one is out there but in a different way. They use a clip. I guess in Brazil, there's no copyright infringement down there. They use a clip of Alfred Hitchcock to open the movie up, like he's introducing the film. But it's like I can't tell. I mean, clearly they had to dub him. So I'm just curious. Like, I don't know. It's weird because, like I said, the whole thing's in Portuguese or whatever, Brazilian. It's Portuguese, right? They speak Portuguese down there. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm unintelligent from Southern Indiana. But anyways, they as they're doing the voiceovers, I don't know what voice they use. Like I don't know. They clearly had the dubbing because it wasn't Hitchcock. I just wonder like were they trying to do it Hitchcock? I can't tell because once again it's all foreign language. But early on in the movie, they even like lift the music from Psycho. Like the botanist's girlfriend or wife, I think it is, goes to rush back to see if he's okay, and we're hearing the Psycho the theme, not the but the when Marion Crane's driving on the highway, that the music that throughout that. And I'm just like, really? Like, no one checking on this shit? And I'll tell you right now, you can find this on the I think it's internetarchives.org or something like that. It's on there. So, I mean, you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, the movie, it's just crazy because, like, it's only it's like an hour and a half, maybe, about an hour and a half. And the first few minutes of this thing, like, every scene is just bam, 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 bam. Like, there is no in between. And at one point, it cuts like from one scene, spoiler alert, her husband has died, to now she's probably a vampire, to now a few years have passed and she's like a friend's like, hey, we need to come and help set up a nightclub, to the nightclub's up and running. Like this is all within the span of like 3 or 4 scenes, and it's just like there's no like title cards of like 5 months like no nothing. It's just like boyfriend dies, she's probably a vampire. They offer her a job. She has the nightclub up and running. It's just like, what the fuck? Take a break. Slow down. Take a breath. And yeah, once it gets past that, the movie does, kind of follow a somewhat of a plot. It's funny that towards the end, I realized they were trying to go for a murder mystery. And there's a lot of fucking side characters that just kind of show up and then go away. But I realized they were trying to establish, like, hey, these could be potential killers. But the thing is they're leaning towards the wife as the vampire. So it's just like, I wasn't expecting anybody else to be the fucking killer. And then later on, it's almost like, wait a minute, are they trying to make this like one guy? Like the ticket taker guy at the nightclub seems like, because it's like, whenever you find out, like, this woman died, he's just like, yes, all women are whores and they deserve to die. Like, he keeps going on, and you're just like, wow, this dude really hates these women. And I'm thinking like, shit, like, is he the killer? Like, they're not making... And then you realize that, the vampires run up with a mask, and you're like, oh shit, like, he may be the killer. It's just so crazy. But it's like, it doesn't really... at least to me, when I watched it, I didn't realize it was a murder mystery until, like, the last third of it. And that's me being generous, maybe the last third of the third, I don't know. It was just, like, literally... fucking 11th hour, I was like, oh shit, like they're trying to do a murder mystery here. And I don't know why, because it wasn't necessary, but I guess then again, this movie wasn't really totally necessary. I just love the random shots of the friend they cut to, like out of nowhere. Like it hasn't been a plot. It's literally, she's not adding anything to it. They just cut to her doing nude photo shoots, and I'm just like, thumbs up, thumbs fucking up. Like I feel like I should have in each of my movies. Like every time I do a movie now, just cut to a random like nude photo shoot, and then cut back and just be like, so that was that. Here's the real story now, and then just keep cutting back and forth. I don't know. I thought it was just funny. It's just like, imagine this guy is just like, I need titties in my movie, and they're like, well, you already had some titties. Like, I need more titties, and they're like, fine, we'll shoot more titties for you. And that's what they did. They shot more titties for this guy. God love this guy. His name's like Ivan something. He's from Brazil, and he's awesome. So yeah. This movie I'm giving kind of a thumbs in the middle. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't nearly as fun as The Secret of the Mummy. Even though there's like a whole like side plot of like this one bumbling detective, not the private eye, but a detective who works homicide, who he's the only one that believes it's a vampire. Like everybody else is like, no, there's no such thing as vampires. And then he wants on the case, but it turns out he's a bumbling fucking idiot. And then like there's an old like former prostitute that loves him, or is trying to sleep with him, and when he turns her down, she starts fucking with him. And this is all like nothing to do with the actual story. This is all like C-plot that just kind of comes out of nowhere and plays out. And I mean, I realize now it was probably meant to be a comedy, and I didn't realize that till the very, very end. Because I realized it was like bad, unintentional humor, but it's like at the end, like not that they were going to be trying to be somewhat funny, but like the movie ends on a really bad punchline and shit. And I don't know. Anyways, if you have somehow seen, I doubt there's no fucking way you've out there seen this movie, but if you've somehow seen the Seven Vampires. Let me know what you think. I'll tell you right now, it's subtitled, so you do have to read that. The effect or the look of the film, the cinematography, like this looks like, and I mentioned this on The Secret of the Mummy. Like this is like this was filmed like in the '60s. Like I don't know if they just got a hold of like old like American cameras, like when Hollywood wasn't using these old cameras, like well here you can have this, and they're like great, but like even the movie, like they're playing like old rock and roll, and it just seems like it's out in the '50s or '60s, and you're just kind of like you see that like the joke when you watch like any kind of movie that takes place like in more like Eastern Europe, and it's like they're just like even though it's like the mid 2000s, it's like they're just now watching Miami Vice for the first time. They're like Miami Vice #1 show, or music. They're behind like a couple decades on music from us, and it just seems like is that the case? Like because like I said, this movie's in Brazil. It's '86, but it looks like it's like 1960 something. And the fact that they're like hardcore on the Hitchcock trains, like yeah, they think it's the '60s probably still. Like they're just not getting that shit down there. And they're like, this is great. I don't know. I get the world's a lot smaller now. Like with the internet and social media, it's like we're all kind of somewhat caught up. Even if you live in some crappy little village somewhere, you can get on your phone and be like, oh hey look, here's the current fucking Fox lineup. We can watch that now. Or here's the top 10 hot hits from America. So, I mean, we're all kind of on the same plateau now. But back then, I mean, we didn't have that. So, I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting little time capsule of a film, I guess. Definitely ripe for parody. Like, I don't know if the Mystery Science guys ever got a hold of this or people who do, like, those kind of things. But it's like, yeah, this is pretty good stuff right here. As far as like just making fun of it, but anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about. Like I said, check it out. Let me know what you think if you watched it. Like I said, Internet Movie Archive. Now here's the thing: when I looked it up on IMDb, they had the runtime set for let's just say an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. And so I couldn't find like that cut. But then like whenever I went to, they said like you can watch it on Amazon.com with a subscription. I don't have the subscription on Amazon, but when I checked it out on there, it was showing us 120 something cut, 20-minute cut, and that was what the rest of the film kind of like. Every version I kept finding was that, so I was like, okay, this must be the full version. And to my knowledge, I mean, there wasn't anything taken out, but I can't find anything other than that. So I don't know if you guys happen to know of a longer version that has English subtitles. Sorry, excuse me. Let me know. I would love to check it out and see, if they did cut, do a little trimming. Like, what would they cut out? More titties? Probably more titties. Anyways, I want to say the last time it felt like it was almost like I was watching softcore porn at times. Like that's where I watched it. It was like a porn site. It's how I could watch The Secret of the Mummy. It was like on a porn site, and I want to say maybe there was pickle in that. I can't remember, but either way, it felt like he was watching a porno at times. And I'm just thinking like, son of a bitch. I don't know. I didn't think to check the porn sites. I have to check porn sites, I guess. Don't let my girlfriend know. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.